Ian,
Yeah.
at the weird Sunday recording session of the CU podcast to go over Black Panther, which you can watch here because it's not in the audio version. It's an exclusive. We spoke about it on a momentous occasion.
We did. You completing entirely your United States.
North
America.
Don't leave out Canada. You
Yeah,
like
now
Canada.
it's Canada as well. Your North American NES collection.
So go there and watch that, and we'll come back to me. Ian, do you want to talk about a momentous occasion too while we're here?
All right, let's do it and then get my ass home. Let's celebrate a very special occasion.
Oh, this is kind of special. So I started collecting. Man, it's hard to pin down when I went to Funkoland and bought the NES game for like $35, whatever they were selling for in '97. It was probably '97. It's been, let's just say, 20 years of collecting NES games.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a shelf over there, the brand new location of the games there. Now one shelf, Turbo games aren't delegated to the bottom row anymore. They're going to get more respect in here in the future, as they should. But I have, by this point in time, I have completed my North American NES game collection.
Woo!
Where's the clapping? Where's the applause? I should get the Goldberg fireworks out like I had when you reappeared last year. So 20 years, thousands of hours wasted on eBay, at swap meets, at gaming conventions, searching for lots of monies. Don't ask me how much money. It's impossible to know how much money I spent on all of them. And that also includes getting hundreds of box games that I also have the carts of, including all the black box games, all the silver Konami games, all the APOG Pad original games I had in the box. You know, I have the Tengen Gold games up there. You know, all the 1986 games. So yeah, we'll just put it all together. You know, that my NES collecting days are in the twilight at this point. I'm missing a handful of the NES European games. I'll probably pick them up at some point. Those aren't that hard to find. And I'm missing like 8 NES manuals. So in theory, I'd like to get all the manuals. I will probably never get a Stadium Events manual because it costs too much money. Then again, I said I'm never going to get Stadium Events, and I got Stadium Events somehow.
Sell out.
What?
I said sell out.
Son of a bitch. No. But someone asked me how I felt. Maybe someone who interviewed me for something that I can't get into right now. And the response I had when I got the final 2 games that I needed...
Empty.
It wasn't empty, because that's kind of dark and unnecessary. But it was. I didn't know if it was even relief. It was almost. I don't know if it was even bittersweet. Because I remember when we talked about me completing all the licensed games. I mentioned to you that was like early 2010 or so. Wow, that far ago. When I completed all the licensings besides Stadium Events, or basically got the NWCs at that time. It was early 2010, got the gray one. It was before early 2010. That, you know, I think the longer you're in the game of collecting, the less impact it has on each individual quote unquote achievement, or if you want to say gain of your collection, because over 20 years, when it's that much ingrained with you, it's not like I got into it in a year and got all the games, or in a few years. It's been so spread out that I couldn't tell you when I got most of the games on the shelf, or how I acquired some very specific ones like the NWCs. I can tell you how I got them, but I can't tell you, how I acquired Mermaids of Atlantis at this point. I can't tell you if it was eBay. I can't tell you. It definitely wasn't a flea market, but I can't tell you if I got a collection, if I traded for it. So it's such a big blur that it almost doesn't feel as significant as it should be that I completed a collection. But maybe that means at my age now that it doesn't mean as much anyway.
Right.
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I've sort of evened out the highs and lows of collecting, not collecting, where my OCD isn't at the kick it should be, where if this was 5 years ago, I would have felt so much more relief of getting those last 2 games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then again,
a rainbow would have sprouted from your head. But
5-6 years ago, I was a much more bigger nut than I was now.
Debatable.
Debatable? No, I'm just as big as nut now. Thanks. But that also goes to show you that I didn't rush to complete the collection over all these years, and I could have at any time.
Right.
But maybe I wanted.
No, I remember there was a chance for you to do it last year.
Yeah.
And you passed on it.
Yeah.
After serious debate.
Yeah. So I think I don't know. It's I don't want to say it's empty because I don't want people to say, Pat, you're a con or whatever, which would be funny. But I don't know. It doesn't hold the significance that it might have years past for me. And maybe because also, I didn't get a great deal on these final few games I needed. I got a pretty good deal on one, but the other ones I didn't. So I don't know where I'm going with this. You have to save me, but maybe it's part of growing up or maturing that I don't need these games to fill that any sort of nostalgic hole in my heart. Maybe they've been filled already, or maybe that hole naturally filled itself over time with other interests. Not that I've gained a huge amount of other interests in the past 4 or 5 years, but maybe my priorities have just shifted.
Yeah, I think it is priority shifting. You're satisfied, you're happy, but it's not. It's no longer over time. It went from becoming this great goal to something that. Basically, I would say it probably settled back into a healthy hobby territory, whereas perhaps it was more. I'm not saying like that far, but yes, something more akin to an obsession.
Well, I think that goes. I mean, when I used to call you from the swap meet every Sunday at like 9:30 a.m. to tell you about the stuff I found, I probably wasn't in my right mind part of those times.
No, you weren't. I mean. No.
You can probably tell, right? It's like, why is Pat telling me he found a fucking, Sega Saturn group of games or whatever I told you. I mean, it's cool, but then again, you don't get up like normal people.
No, I don't.
But
I don't.
I haven't.
Like normal people.
I haven't had the urge though to go out to the swap meet nearly as much as I could. I mean, I could have went this morning, recording this on a Sunday. I didn't go.
Yeah.
I went 2 weeks ago, but the stuff I got, I already forgot what I bought. Oh, I got a cool PlayStation controller I got to show you. That's what I got there.
Ooh.
One that you might have not seen or very rarely seen. I'll show you that PlayStation. Yeah. But other than that, though, so you're excited. That's why I called you at 9:15 in the morning. But you see what I mean, though? I mean, I'm slowing down my old age. So I'm not done collecting entirely. I'm not saying that. But for the NES, I mean, pretty much might be calling it a day. But unless I get a Mahjong card and hold it over your head, I mean, that's pretty much it. But that's not North American. And like the same way the PAL stuff is not as big party.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter as much. I always drew the line somewhere. I always say that because there's some collectors that don't draw the line. And I see them now selling their collections where you see like, oh, they have all the rare, they have some test cards, and then they have all the Hong Kong cards, and they have all the Asian cards.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you got that Mahjong cart, I mean, then you'd be starting on an HK collection. And
which is easier. It's easier than getting an NES US collection besides, of course, that game. I think there's one on eBay now for $22,000 in the box, graded or best offer. But I wouldn't. Yeah, no, it's not going to go for that much. But yeah, I mean, I'm never going to go for the test carts. I don't care that much about them. I'll probably get one at one point. I have the test station, which basically takes the place of the test carts for the most part, but in a much bulkier, unnecessary way, which I want to get rid of probably eventually. But that's what I mean. I'm at that point. I have the M82, and that's still my favorite piece. I have all the box stuff. I almost have almost all the box console variants except for a few weird ones, like with there was like the top loader that came with like fucking Dr. Mario. I slapped a sticker on it and threw a Dr. Mario cart inside. It's like, I don't really need that. And that's where I know I started to really come back to earth, where it's like, no, I don't need all these NES box variants because they're sitting fucking Tupperware tubs out there.
Yeah.
It's like I might pare down at some point. But, I got a few Turbo games left, North American. I know they're not PC engineered. And I need...
Why would I say anything?
Yeah, because you had before. And I need one Sega Master System manual. But I have all the games for the US. But yeah, as I put up the games in this game room, I'm gonna see like, okay, this might be necessary, this might not be necessary for like Genesis. Those are like I said, those like half of my Genesis games. That's not all of them in the box. So yeah, I might get to that point where I might start paring down from other systems. I can always sell all my Atari 2600 games to Renee because they're worth $10 each. I have hundreds of those. So. By the way, I was going to tweet at him at SoCal. Someone was selling I think a box of like 50 of them for like $30. I was going to tweet at him, hey, yeah, you make a fortune flipping these. You can go for it.
He was saying the 5200 games were 10 apiece.
Oh, he was trying to change his tune?
Huh?
Was he trying to change his tune? No, he said all of them in that box were $10 each in that box. You remember that?
Yeah,
segment?
but that was a box of. I'm just saying it was a box of 5200 games that he was saying were 5200 each, were $10 each, and then he quoted a box of Atari 2600 games, the entire box at just being a ridiculously high price.
Yeah, which came down to $10 each. when you extrapolate it back.
Okay. I mean, I know it was insane regardless.
It was insane regardless, but the 51 games aren't $10 each.
We're splitting hairs, but yeah.
The whole point was that yes.
Yeah, you should have sent the text.
I should have done it. But
or the tweet.
All right. So Ian, am I growing up? Am I just old and tired, or both?
I think you're growing up.
Think I'm growing up?
I think you're growing up.
You think I'm gonna get rid of my NES games at some point?
I think everything else might go at some point, but I think you'd probably hold on to your NES games.
With confidence? Well, I hold on to the Qbert plush sitting up, hanging out of it.
I mean, like I said, I could see most things going at some point, but not the NES games.
Well, the thing about
I could see all your boxed games going. I could see.
Oh, I could definitely see most of the box games going. I've said that already. Because I already have them, all but 8 I have already as a cartridge with the manual. You know, I can see, I mean, when you look at the Master System set, it's so small, and that includes like a handful of European games. It's so small that it doesn't take up much room, so I couldn't see selling that.
Right.
Genesis games, though, the ones I don't even know what the hell they are, like Balls 3D or whatever I'm looking at right now.
It's a fighting game.
Yeah, I know, Ian, it's a fighting game. I'll never play it.
I thought you just said that ones that you didn't know what they were.
Well, I mean, like, okay, ones I don't need to play or no, like, damn it, it's so much farther away now than the old room. I can't see them.
Okay, now you're yelling about collecting, which means that you're getting too worked out.
I'm getting too crazy again?
Yep.
Okay.
Bring it down.
Do I need Cyber? Actually, I do need Cyberball and Genesis because the NES version is terrible. So I do need that. All right. So I'm not going to put out a Craigslist lad. That's another section of Craigslist. I'm not going to put out a Craigslist ad anytime soon, Ian. Is there anything from my collection you want to buy, potentially? In all honesty, is there anything that I have that you'd want besides my Game Boy black and white games that you're jealous of?
I'm not really jealous of that many of them anymore. I mean, there's probably some I'd want. No, not really. There's always Genesis games I want, but I don't want to collect for the Genesis again.
You don't?
No.
I can't.
No.
Content with
Nope.
Starflight?
I mean, no. I do like Starflight though.
I gotta play some of it. So the next step though is going to be actually this year Super Nintendo games, getting them out and using them on the good old Super NT that maybe a certain NES punk's going to do a review of at some point if I can fucking get time through all this jungle of junk and actually rearrange this room. I can get to it and we can stream some stuff potentially, or you can stream it. You really don't want to be here.
Well, I mean, I just don't know what more to say about your collection.
I don't want to. I want something more metaphysical, though. Maybe I don't know. Want to move on to collecting other trinkets or something else? Because you always fulfill that need with something else.
Souls.
Collecting souls.
Collecting souls. Yeah.
Also collecting the souls of all the people on YouTube that have gone after me in the past.
I guess.
You want to help me with that endeavor? Maybe we'll do that this year.
I don't know how we'd catch them, but I mean, we could try.
Oh, metaphysically, figuratively. Ian.
Figuratively.
No, not in person at a convention when they're afraid to talk to me because they're fucking cowards.
Wow. Okay, this is taking a turn.
How do we go from that? From the collecting?
I don't know. Anyways, congratulations, Pat, for finishing your collection. What the fuck?
Well, I feel hollow. That didn't really do much for me looking back at that when we recorded. That was a waste of time.